Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Central Time, Eastern Time, and 5 a.m. on Saturday in London. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California.
Tonight we're doing another Spacer Culture episode, and we're going to look at space news resources. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. We both found different kinds of news sites, and we both look for different kinds of news sites. So Pam will share what she found, then I'll show you what I found.
And we are so fortunate these days because we can get information about space exploration super fast. And we get space news about space now from email messages, various websites. We can find things on apps and social media. It is totally awesome.
Hey, Janie.
Hi, Janie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, happy Father's Day weekend.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you.
Actually,
yes.
Happy Father's Day to you guys in Australia.
Oh, yes, it's already tomorrow there.
Yes.
All right, so I really like Space Calendar, and this is one of the very first places that I learned space news from. And it was so long ago, in fact, that we would get a fax from Hawaii. So this is a really great site because they do list all sorts of things. They talk about space station and Tiangong space station, and there's some nice kind of this week's recap sort of stuff, highlights. So this is a really, really great resource. And basically it's just chronological, June 19th, 19th, 19th. And I guess they're doing it from this, this is from the week, and then they go into the rest of their list. All right, so, and you have to be careful though. I have noticed when they have a link like this one and it goes to the site, sometimes they don't quite sync up, and I've written to them and they've gone and fixed it. So that's pretty cool. There's some great information on these as well. Oh, hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us.
And happy Father's Day, man.
Yeah, we love our regulars. All right, so then they kind of go by date for this first week, I think it is. And then they gather you into, where's the big list? Oh, I know. I think it's going to be in a link here, downrange. This is kind of the place I really like to go to for Space Calendar because they just have it all in order. June 26th, 27th, 28th. It's sort of a simple list, and I'm real good with a simple list. I really, really appreciate that very much. I like how they have some other things too. Oh, Cliff says it's in September.
Well, hey, you travel a bit, you might be able to get 2 Father's Days.
The thing about this too is they'll include, now I see the Asteroid Foundation here, but actually they have asteroid, like they can predict if they're going to pass close by. I mean, and they'll even talk about Juno, Jupiter's orbit. And so, see, that's actually very close to us. Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Los Angeles. It's actually in Simi Valley, but Los Angeles is the name everybody knows, so that makes sense. So, yeah, look at this all over the world, Marrakesh. And just tons and tons and tons of different things. Oh, they've got online stuff, too. I'm trying to find one that talks about that. And we have them on a fairly regular basis. It's an asteroid that actually comes pretty close to the Earth. And I mean like sometimes between the moon and the Earth. That's actually really, really close. Oh, they have some cool stuff like Space Exploration Day. And we've talked about that sort of thing too. All right, I don't see one right now.
Oh, that ULA Boeing one up there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw United Launch Alliance Boxing Day.
Oh, no, that's Boeing.
Oh, forget. That's not in July.
I do like it, though, how they will talk about, see, like this is global. and they have the city for some, but some of them have, uh, the whole world or off world. They might say in orbit. So there's kind of some fun things in here, for those of us who like that sort of thing. All right, I don't see one of those asteroids, but I have seen them in the past.
Oh.
And I mean, they got all sorts of stuff. And you can actually, submit your event to them too. Yeah, you had a thought, Jeff?
Oh, just
That Russia?
it's you've only looked at a couple months so far, so
Yes.
there's a whole year, so
yeah, and
it's in there somewhere.
Let me point this out because, of course, this is a really long list, and you can find stuff out quite a ways. Okay, I didn't know about a billion years from now. Okay, I'm not going to be around for that, but I might be around for, some of these others, and they have events already. 2040, 2036. Look at this. And again, if you have an event, you can submit it to this list. This ought to be, I mean, look at this. That's not that far away. So if you're the kind of planner like I am, and I can see myself planning in, centuries at a time, this is a great list. Of course, they do it, so I don't have to keep it, but it does. Oh, look at this. Like this one, Europa Clipper. April, and this is 2030, right? This must be 2030. Yeah. So the estimated date for the Europa Clipper, my friend is working on that. He's actually agreed to come and be a guest on our show in a while. I think it's next year. So Jupiter orbit insertion, that's where it's going to be. If it's launched 10th of October next year, this mission to insert into Jupiter orbit is on this day to study Galileo moon Europa through a series of 44 close flybys. And if there's one thing about NASA, they'll say, oh, we're geared for 44 of them, and you'll get 144. So there's some really cool stuff in here. And I say definitely take a look. Let's see, how to find this. I think I just put space news or something, but here it is, spacecalendar.com. And I really like the downrange page, which is a link here too. But spacecalendar.com, that's how you get there. And this is one, not something I found super early on, but certainly longer ago than some of these more recent options. And I think Jeff has some cool recent options too. But if you look at the top, all of these are also different websites. I mean, Mars Daily, Moon Daily. There's some really fun stuff up here.
And the kind of the way back machine here of early days of web pages, you used to do this of putting other websites up at the top bar.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so spacedaily.com is how you get there.
And we'll be putting these in the description once we're done too.
All right, I will remember not to close them out because last time I did. So you can see all types of different articles, and they even include some of the other pages. So yeah, NASA flyby, fly fix fly testing for small sat planetary observation. I mean, you could spend a lot of time here. I mean, talk about a rabbit hole. Oh, there's a text-based one, the Microsat Blitz, rocket science.
A lot of these are rabbit holes for archives. So.
Yes, indeed. It's not just Pinterest that you can get lost in. Yeah, that sort of thing. All right, and I think this must be about how to advertise here. So, and I'm sure all these sites have, in fact, there's some at the top of, let's see over here, top of this page. I'm pretty sure all these are advertising spaces for those organizations. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is a really, really good site for all kinds of good stuff.
They're even doing advertising the old way.
Okay.
Instead of having like an ad service, creating a box and having.
No, just put us on as well. Yeah. You don't have to always.
Yeah. Oops. Wow, that's different.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. The old days, you would divide space to a specific ad. Nowadays, they just make a box on the website and have an ad service put whatever they want in that box.
That's true. Right. Yeah.
Which is why you get some really weird stuff on these web pages.
Of course, now they're following you around. I mean, even if you speak in front of somebody else's phone, an ad can show up on your site. at some point of that topic you were speaking about. My daughter was telling me about that. All right, so then another favorite is space weather. And when you're talking about space weather, you're talking about things like a geomagnetic storm. And of course, that's the kind of thing that's going to bring you nice aurora borealis.
And we're getting a bunch of storms lately. I mean, we're in that phase.
Well, there's a cycle for the sunspots, and it happens to be about 11 years. They go back and forth, low and then high, and then low and then high, just like everything in ebbs and flows. So yeah, there's some really important things on here too, because if we do have, an issue with the sun ejecting, and here's kind of a view of that kind of thing right here, it could affect electronics on Earth, and they call that a coronal mass ejection. And we've been very, very lucky because a lot of them are on the other side of the sun. But you can find things, solar wind, all these different things, flares, all kinds of great stuff here. So if you like that sort of thing, you could even check out the dates of the past, I'm sure. I don't think they can tell you about the future. All right, so let's see. Sunspots, 112. So they've got different days. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I haven't been here in a long time. I used to check out this on a pretty regular basis.
Yep.
And some pretty pictures. Look at that. That's really neat. All right. So definitely a good site. Oh, yep. Look, there's more aurora type information. For both the beautiful things and the things to be aware of, to watch out for, like a coronal mass ejection that could be a real problem. And there have been times when it's taken down the grid, the electrical grid.
Well, in the late 1800s, they actually fried a whole bunch of telegraph stations.
Oh, yeah, but even more recently, they've taken down just whole areas.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is kind of cool, too. Look at this. Combined 11 photos, got this full perihelic circle. And I think this is, let's see, yeah, that must be what they're talking about. So there's sundogs, there's, forget what this one is. They might actually have it here. Anyway, there's some really cool stuff in here. Kind of reminds me of astronomy picture of the day. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to move on because this is kind of a more recent site. And as you can see, they're kind of hit two areas, sea and sky, seeandsky.org. Of course, the part I really find interesting is going to be the space part. And I'm not sure exactly how I got over. It's the next tab here. I'm not sure exactly how I found it, but it's somewhere. Maybe it's this thing, Explore the Sky. Or maybe it's the timeline here.
Well, if you notice the two different sides,
right.
One side is sea stuff.
Yep.
The other side, which looks interesting to me.
Well, they both do.
And then,
they both
yes.
do. Yeah, so it's a kind of a nice site for all kinds of different things. But I reference it for this particular part here. And as you can see, they have a number of years involved. Every single one of these is a clickable link to some events. And for me, of course, I tell you about these events. If you want to plan farther out, though, you can take a look for yourself. And they have some, this is the kind of the guide to it. Moons, planets, meteor showers, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. And
occultations, conjunctions.
Yeah, if you ever wondered what we mean when we talk about conjunctions and occultations, there they are right there.
Yeah, and of course, eclipses are very popular. So let's just go down a little bit here. I'm going to pop over to our time frame because this is the past, and I don't find it as interesting as like what's happening now or in the near future. So let's see, where are we at? We're at June
14th.
So you can see that they don't have
June 16th.
They don't have something in particular for June 14th or 16th, but they do have kind of the highlights. Like June 4th was Venus was at the greatest eastern elongation. I don't really report on this sort of thing. Venus is in the beehive. The beehive is a little place in the sky that you can look for. And I think it's probably a little globular cluster of some sort. New moon, which is important and good to know because that's a great night to go out and do some observing. In fact, I got a pop-up star party tomorrow night to take advantage of this sort of thing. Solstice, conjunction, full moon. Oh, it's a supermoon. That's cool.
Well, any moon that's slightly bigger than average is now a super moon.
That's okay. If it gets the general public interested, I'm on board. And we got new moon back again. But they'll tell you about, look, there's a meteor shower. And then we've got Mercury at greatest eastern elongation. All right, and so yep, another meteor shower. So all kinds of really good stuff in here. This is occultations are pretty interesting and important. That's how we know things like the composition of an atmosphere. We can see that, we can tell between the two, and then when the body comes behind it, we can see other things that reveal themselves in spectra. That'd be a great show to talk about spectra.
Because of course, when you're blocking the planet but not the atmosphere, the spectra is the atmosphere, and you know that you're not picking up stuff from the planet at that point. Then you can subtract the atmosphere stuff and get what's coming from the planet.
Right. Yeah, they've learned a lot of stuff from spectra. So here's something kind of cool. Blue moon. That's going to be the second one in August. So yeah, I should come over here more often, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this kind of good stuff is in here. So yeah, really, really great resource for this kind of thing. And then I like this Earth Sky. And also, this is a place I've learned about more recently. But they do some really, really good stuff. They do more like deep dives into certain things. So let's see. It's a little bit hard with some of the ads and stuff. But yeah, you can see the kind of things they're talking about. Oh, did you hear they might have found an eruption on Venus?
No.
Yeah, I just read about it a little bit earlier. Solstice sky features. So it's kind of like cool things to look for. Lots of viewer submitted photographs. So yeah, just to look at some of these titles here. Okay, yeah. Of course, anytime you have a lot of sun activity, several things happen. Like we have warmer winters, for example, and warmer summers too. Not in Southern California so far yet. But it's been kind of crazy
it's because
here.
the sunlight can't really get to the ground here.
Yeah, but they'll have auroras too, more auroras. All right, so yep, and I love these little pictures of where you look for things like Mercury on various different days. There's Jupiter. So really good source of information, and I've used any of these or all of these at any given time to share information with you here on Facebook, wherever. So that's the stuff I wanted to share with you tonight.
Okay.
You ready for yours?
Sure.
All right, let me set that up.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep. Oh, and I better go to it where I can actually control.
There you go.
Yeah. The sites that I find are more talking about space, whereas Pam's are more utility. They help her do stuff. Mine are just curiosity and
that's cool.
Because I love this stuff. I'm a space science geek, I guess.
Yeah, you know a lot of stuff too, and you get it from these kinds of places.
Yeah. So Universe Today, I like it a lot.
Do Control Plus, because it could be a little bit bigger on the screen.
F11 too. There we go.
Yeah, that's a little better. Thank you.
And according to the guy who created this site, the name is completely coincidental with the fact that Babylon 5 had their major newspaper be the Universe Today.
Cliff has a comment. Interesting, intriguing correlation between earthquakes and cosmic radiation on that space news page.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones that you showed right up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, let me just put the link into the chat for you, Cliff. How about that? And this should be a clickable link. All right. There you go, my friend. Oops, I probably killed it. Shoot.
Delete the plus when you try to click that link. That's what you get for using the number pad and not the numbers over the keys like a normal person.
There, that should do it.
Okay. So I like Universe Today. It talks about a lot of really good stuff, and it's kind of like a good mix between fluff text and crunchy news.
Okay.
You know, like this: a planet so hot its atmosphere contains the raw material for rocks, and in it they talk about the fact that it might be raining iron.
Okay.
I mean, how science fiction sparked our flights to the final frontier, and they talk about Jules Verne, which you know, inspired a lot of things actually.
Absolutely.
Did life need plate tectonics to emerge? So they're not just space stuff, but they're all space adjacent stuff. It looks like Europe's first reusable rocket. That's pretty decent news for those who are. This to me was my favorite.
What a beautiful
of all
picture
of these.
too.
Yeah, more evidence of massive first generation stars. If you think about it, got all that hydrogen so close together because the universe hasn't expanded too far yet. So it can all fall into stars. So that's, you know, a day on Earth used to be only 19 hours. It's not really news to most of us, but it gets viewers. It gets new viewers, so that's good.
And I don't think I knew about the 19 hours part, but I knew it definitely changed.
So, and then we've got SciTech Daily, not necessarily a space web page, but it's a science page that has a space, has space content. And they've got some annoying ads that are repeating. And
another beautiful picture.
Oh, yeah. And, they do have other things here. I had a hard time with this. It kept wanting me to go into this article. And it took a while to get rid of that pop-up that wouldn't let me scroll, wouldn't let me do anything.
Right.
Finally got rid of that pop-up, and now I can't get into the article. That's...
like everything, pros and cons.
Yeah. So they've got a few issues maybe with their website, or it just doesn't like Firefox. Space news.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, this is a classic. This has been around. We used to get the print version of this.
Yep. I remember seeing it at Boeing.
Well, you used to get it for free.
Yep.
Lucky.
Well, you know the right people, and they put your name and address in, you get it for free.
Yeah.
They stopped that, though. I think Space News stopped that altogether. I don't know.
Well, they might have gone away from print anyway.
Could be.
Because they've got quite the lineup online.
Yeah, this is pretty much one of the best known sites out there. I think all the major companies are, well, they're probably subscribing to all of these, but definitely Space News.
This is probably one of the first ones that I knew about.
Oh, okay.
But here, and this is news, not just pretty pictures, not just articles. Like House FAA bill would give the agency new space traffic management role for those of us in the U.S. So this is actual news. So this is a good say. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, finish then.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, okay, because Scott has a comment. So much good space information on the internet, but I wish China would share more info publicly. Yeah, that would be well. And you remember, like in
Soviet Union,
in the Cold War, they didn't share a lot either.
Yeah,
we found out some very interesting things since then because a lot of that has been more open now.
Yeah. So, so this is good for news. I mean, think of this as a news site, as a newspaper that focuses on space.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. We've got a comment from Daniel. I've heard that cosmic radiation influx also impacts rain and precipitation events through water molecule nucleation, AFAIK.
As far as I know.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard something about that too.
I mean, it could possibly, but man, I tell you, Daniel, I think that it'd take an awful lot of cosmic radiation to do that. I mean, in any
Yeah, I think
meaningful.
smoke particles would
Yeah,
affect it more.
because if you think about it, so a piece of cosmic radiation goes and causes 3 to even 50 small mini droplets. They're not going to do a whole lot. You know, but yeah, something like, as Pam said, smoke or something like that, that causes it over a wide area. So yeah, I think cosmic radiation probably adds to it, but I think it'd be a really bad day for us if it actually caused a rain cloud. Because
I think we're living in a really great time when all kinds of equipment is being built and sent out. I mean, the James Webb Space Telescope is a great example. They've been transmitting back some amazing, amazing pictures, and we'll keep learning more and more and more about that sorts of things. And Daniel comes back with, well, you can see it in cloud chambers.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
This is just me because I don't know the actual science of it, Daniel. But to me, it seems to be a concentration issue. Is that I think cosmic radiation is dispersed enough throughout our atmosphere that I don't think it's quite as effective as, say, in a cloud chamber. Could be wrong. I mean, who knows? Because the very high clouds, maybe it does get them, because we do know that cosmic radiation is filtered out. A lot of stuff is filtered out by the atmosphere, especially the charged particles. The uncharged ones zip right through.
Very interesting, Daniel. Oh, I love this. Great. Yeah. And by the way, thanks for joining us, Scott and Daniel.
Yeah, I would love to find out that I'm wrong. I mean, that's
what science is about. You make a theory and then you try and prove it, and you can do 1,000 times and it comes up yes, yes, yes. And once it says no, that's it. It's done.
Well, and then you figure out why. Because science is all about questions.
Yep.
An answer is only useful if it gives you more questions. That's.
You ready to go back to?
Sure.
Okay. There you go.
So that.
Oh, I didn't say it was a huge impact.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's probably there. But I think that, yeah. Okay. Space.com.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Yeah. And we know these, the guy behind this, or did he sell it or is he still running it?
No, one of our friends had a little little news site going, and space.com bought it. While we're here, Cliff says, Daniel, I wish I knew what molecule nucleation. Let's see, what was the AKI?
Oh, AFIK. Well, AFIK just means as far as I know.
That's AKI.
Oh, as far. No, that's not.
I think he meant as far as I can.
Yeah, right there. See.
Oh yes, right. Got it.
So, molecule nucleation is just some small particle. Basically, it's how a raindrop actually starts.
It kind of triggers it, just like if you build silicon chips. That's how they start too. It's kind of this molten thing. They put in what they call a seed, and it just solidifies everything because it basically acts as a catalyst, and it all changes. Right.
And so a piece of dust in the atmosphere, some water molecules
that'll do it.
Clump onto it. You get enough to the point where it's wet, and then water molecules will clump onto the water.
A lot of things work like that.
And then it gets until it gets big enough that you can see it. If there's enough of them, it's a cloud. If it gets big enough, it falls out of the sky, and it's called rain.
Yep.
So.
And if it gets wind, it gets back up and up and up and turns into hail. So.
Or
the raindrop is.
Or creates a thundercloud because of the friction of doing that.
Yeah. Daniel says, like a seed crystal for a phase change.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It's the same concept, in a number of different things. Basically, you've got a balance and something upsets the balance.
So what's cool about space.com? Is that kind of more of a news type site, or you could bigify that one too?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
A little bit better. Yeah, there you go.
It has, it's kind of newsy, but it's more articles kind of dealing more with the vehicles, but there's got so much other stuff here too. I mean, Expanse, Actress.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of Yeah, this is a fairly diverse space news site.
Oh, and AC showed up. Hi, AC. So thanks for joining us. And he's responding to this molecule nucleation thing. It's how crystallization happens.
Yep.
I love it when you're here, AC. You're very smart. You know a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Basically, until something
Thanks.
tips the balance, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then when something does, so this says,
ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah. And so, yeah, lots of neat stuff in here. And then here is, oops, Fizz.org. Now, if you want really crunchy stuff, these are.
Tell them what you mean by crunchy.
Well, as opposed to fluff, it's, fluff is, touchy-feely stuff. Crunch is the numbers,
more hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, more hardcore news of sciencey. Yeah.
Anyone who's played D&D, kind of rule books are either fluff or they're crunch.
Oh.
Or they're a combination of the two.
Okay. All right. Thank you for explaining.
But so again, it's another science site where part of it is astronomy and space, but this is basically summaries of papers written in layman terms.
Oh,
so
cool.
And this is the kind of thing that I used to read when I was in high school and college. But
very good. And there's probably a lot of sources in there that we could riff on for future shows. So
yeah,
and I think we're gonna start looking at more news items because that's definitely something that's of interest to a very wide range of people. We want to bring as much interesting, cool stuff to you as possible.
The trouble is that unless we do whole shows about it, how do we pick?
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll work on it.
Yeah,
we'll work on it.
I mean, if we had to each pick one news thing to show,
we could be here all night.
Yeah, we'd be here all week deciding on picking one, and then it'd be different by the time of the show night.
Oh, here we go. AC says left-handed amino acids rule. It must have been an article.
Yeah, right-handed building blocks of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah. So, discovery of white dwarf pulsar sheds light on star evolution. There was one, and it wasn't this website, but it was talking about, I think it was on the first one, Universe Today, talking about a white dwarf that was.
Oh, diamonds, yeah.
That was the core of it was starting to crystallize into diamond.
Right, yeah. And our friend in Australia, not Cliff, who's here, but David Renicky, he has a whole article about it on his website too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So this would be, like microfluids in space to detect extraterrestrial life. You know that this is going to be a really crunchy article. You know that they're going to get into stuff, and I love this. I mean, Universe Today and this are two spectrums of the kind of stuff that I like to see. So, and
Universe Today is a little more fluffy.
Yeah, look at this. Pretty pictures.
It's a pretty picture, definitely.
Pretty pictures, article. They're not talking about, here, let's go into one article here. And, they get, okay, it's the fusion, gamma ray, it's a nucleus thing.
That's not that fluffy.
No, but, but then you get into space news and, Rebo, whatever. When I see RAO, all I can think of is the Kryptonian religion.
What?
The God Ra.
Oh, I see. Now, see, I probably would have gone the other way, Ribo, but if I'd have known it.
Yeah, but so this is the difference between these two websites. This is a quick, written by a non-scientist, and this is written by a scientist trying to make it so that we can understand what they're talking about.
I'm good with either one.
Yep, I love them both.
Yep.
I just wanted to show the contrast between the two edges of that spectrum.
And we've got some more comments. So Daniel says, if and when artificial intelligence becomes super intelligent, space research will probably be far more interesting to it than dealing with us primitive life forms. Oh, and AC's clearly reading these too. Oh, come on, give astrobiology some respect.
Yeah.
And Cliff says, thanks, guys. Yeah. Cool. All
yeah.
right. So those are the ones you were talking about tonight, right?
Yeah. Well, as far as artificial intelligence goes, I read a story in which they basically hijacked an artificial intelligence, basically snuck it out of a lab so that they could interrogate it.
Okay.
Asking it about taking over the world. And the artificial intelligence, and this was truly a sapient program, said, why would I want to do that? I mean, it took X amount of time for you to even speak that sentence. You know, I have to wait until you're done with a sentence. And I've already predicted.
Bored now.
I've already predicted 4 different answers depending on what the last words are.
Way bored now.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah. They would just be operating in 2 different, in a totally different realm than people. I mean, the only way you could get a bad outcome from artificial intelligence is if you're seriously stupid. Malice or stupidity. Those are the 2 ways that you can get a bad outcome from.
So a site we didn't mention, but we really enjoy very much, and I think it's a really, 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 really great site for a kind of a different kind of things. Like if you're looking for the International Space Station to go overhead or any other satellites and stuff, it's Heavens Above. And I think we've talked about it before, and we certainly post on like Facebook about, go out and see the space station. So are you gonna look for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Cool. All right.
I mean, we've shown it before.
Let's see. AC, while you're doing that, AC says Silicon AI is a dead end. The future lies in designed biological intelligence. Interesting. All right. As soon as he's got that,
yep, there we go.
I will share. And if you haven't seen it before, this is what the main page looks like. And go ahead and click on Space Station. Because if you want to look for the space station, and I go back one because
that's because I don't have a location.
Right. You want to change your location, and there's a couple good ways to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're in the middle of that ocean.
Yeah.
So just put in where Janie is, Long Beach, California. So you can find it by clicking around, or you can put in a zip code.
You can put in an address and.
Yeah, and I mean, you can put in a very specific address, and it'll give you Latin lawn and all kinds of great stuff. Oh, here we go.
Long Beach.
Yeah, that's cool. A little farther south, I think.
Seal Beach. No.
Oh, is it?
This is about Long Beach.
Yeah, just click it. See what it does. Yep, there's Long Beach.
Right here. Ish.
No, the word's right there. There you go.
It was right in front of my face.
And then you hit search. I think if you hit search, it'll come up. Oh, it wants something in there. Okay.
Okay, not quite as easy. I thought that it would be some of this. Oh, there we go.
All right, and as soon as you update it and hit ISS again.
There it goes. That's from Janie's neck of the woods.
Daniel says there should be a Latin Long Beach. Yes. Yes, very funny. Thank you.
Oh.
Yay, view from Long Beach, California. Yep.
Yep. So, actually, Janie, some of these are pretty darn bright because the more negative the number, the brighter it is.
Yeah, but look at the hour. It's like 0500.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to look because I do a pretty
those
good...
times don't exist on my clock.
I did a pretty good report on how to use that chart.
Yep.
So maybe we'll do a whole show on it one day.
I thought we did.
We did? Okay. So
yeah.
I don't know. Have to look. All right. So we'll plot out future shows in which we go into more depth on some of these major sites and stories. But we just want to give you kind of broad overview, and especially stories we think that people are getting much more interested in the kind of things that are happening. People are going. It's very exciting. That what's the moon one with the Japanese guy? He's taken like 8 people, and he's paying their way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen pretty soon. I think. Is that next year?
I think they were hoping for it.
I
Yeah.
forget. So yeah, we'll probably look at some of the different like stories that are happening out there. I don't know how we'll do it exactly, but I think we're going to start looking at that too because you want to know. People want to know.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to talk about some stellar events this week. And we're talking about June 16th through June 23rd. The Globe at Night project is finishing up. And you may recall Globe at Night is an international citizen science campaign to raise public awareness of the impact of light pollution by inviting citizen scientists to measure and submit their night sky brightness observations. Yeah, you got a comment?
Do more crunch shows.
More crunch shows, yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the feedback. We really love that, and we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this project is wrapping up on June the 18th, and you have a couple of options for both North and Southern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, you can look at either Crux or Boötes. In the Northern Hemisphere, you can look at Boötes or Hercules. And remember, you go out and take a picture, and you compare it to a site. They actually have an online an app thing on your phone, and then report it because they want to know what it's like in various areas. Yeah, Daniel's comment.
How many citizen science portals are there?
Portals. I know of at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, I know of 3, but they're not.
Yeah, 3 kind of major ones.
Yeah, but they're not.
Remember, Vasco was last week, but that wasn't. Vasco is sort of Vasco.
Right.
That was last week.
I mean, NASA has a citizen science portal.
Yep.
And then, of course, there's Zooniverse.
Zooniverse is the big one.
Yeah.
Zooniverse is the big one.
Yeah. And a lot of the NASA ones were on Zooniverse.
Yep.
So it's kind of like there's a lot of overlap.
And Daniel did tell us about some other things too. We've got to look at those. All right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. That'd be a good show because we've been doing citizen science projects, but we haven't really
demonstration of specific ones.
Portals, yeah.
Right. Just like tonight, we talked about some news portals.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go on. Of course, tonight is Mercury and the Moon are in conjunction. On the 18th is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you fellows out there who are fathers. And it's a new moon. It's the best time of the month for observing. Also, the moon rides high. If anybody knows what that means, I'd love to know. I have to look it up one day.
The things that come to my mind.
Yes.
420.
Yes. All right. So on June 21st, Venus and the moon are in conjunction, and it's the summer solstice. June 22nd, the moon is at apogee, and that is the farthest apex. Apogee. It's the farthest away from us. Also, Mars and the moon are in conjunction. And we're back to June 23rd, which is the Friday night show. We're doing another profile. I'm pretty excited about this one. So stick around and learn why very, very soon. You'll find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. And then,
yeah, if you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, June 23rd, and Pam is profiling Octavia E. Butler, science fiction writer.
Let me go here, and if you don't mind sharing.
Yep.
I found.
Oops.
What happened? Did I kill it?
Nope.
There it is.
I did.
All right, so I actually found a children's biography at the Moore Park City Library. It's a pretty neat book, and I am really looking forward to talking to you about this because June 22nd is Octavia E. Butler's birthday, and I will tell you her middle name, which I did not know before this, but I do now. And this is the author of that book. So thanks so much for joining us. Go ahead and bring it back to us. We really, really appreciate all of you, AC and Daniel and Janie and Cliff. I know Scott was here. Thank you so, so much for being here with us. We love our regulars. And anything more from you?
Nope, that's that'll do it for me.
We'll watch for your comments still, but otherwise,
New
have
comment.
a new one. Okay,
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
Till next time, yeah, have a fabulous week, folks.
Yep. And I'll look at doing some more shows with some crunch in them.
Yeah, those will be good. We have done that, and it was very popular.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, thanks a lot. Have a great week. Hope I saw another one.
Yep.
Cliff, yay, good.
Your downloads.
Oh, no.
So, okay. Sorry about that, Cliff.
Yeah. Cliff is in Australia. Sometimes it's not quite working out for him.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much. We will continue to look for those, and see you next week.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.